The moment you defend yourself, you've already lost. Do you hear that? Every time you explain, every time you try to prove yourself, you kneel. You hand them your throat. The world doesn't care if you're innocent. The world doesn't care if you're right. The only thing they see is weakness. Like blood in the ocean, defense attracts sharks. The more you explain, the more they circle. The more you justify, the more they smell your fear. And once they taste it, they don't stop. When was the last time someone lied about you? Twisted your name? Spread poison behind your back? Did you waste hours, days trying to clean it up? And what happened? Did the crowd believe your truth? Or did they look at you with suspicion, like a criminal begging for mercy? That is the trap. Defending yourself is submission. Silence, on the other hand, silence is power. Silence makes them wonder. Silence makes them afraid. And counterattack. That flips the game. When you strike back instead of bowing down, suddenly they're the ones explaining. They're the ones scrambling. So understand this. Defense is death. Silence is mystery. Counterattack is dominance. And from this day forward, you will never kneel again. I remember the day they came for me. Not with fists, not with blades, but with whispers. One rumor, sharp as a knife, was enough to tear my name apart. They said things I never did. They twisted my silence into guilt. And the crowd. Oh, the crowd loved it. Do you know the cruelty of people? They don't want the truth. They want a spectacle. They want to see someone beg. They want to watch the strong stumble. So they dragged me into their theater. And I, like a fool, stepped onto the stage. I tried to defend myself. I tried to explain. And with every word I spoke, I felt myself shrink. I could see it in their eyes. They weren't listening for truth. They were waiting for cracks. They wanted my voice to tremble. They wanted me to bleed, and I gave them what they wanted. Every explanation was a wound. Every defense was another chain around my neck. I walked out of that room guilty, not because of what I did, but because I tried to prove I wasn't guilty. That humiliation burned into me. It clawed at my chest. It poisoned my nights. And then came the revelation. I realized the trap. If I explain, I'm small. If I justify, I'm weak. But if I refuse, if I stand in silence, unshaken, untouchable, I become something else entirely. I become the mystery they cannot cage. That day, I stopped being their victim. That day, I understood. The more I defend, the more I kneel. But the less I explain, the higher I rise. They wanted me broken. Instead, they built me. They carved the stone. They sharpened the blade. And now I am the weapon their lies created. So listen carefully. When betrayal finds you, and it will, do not waste your breath. Do not beg them to believe, because the crowd does not want truth. The crowd wants blood. Don't give them yours. From that day forward, I forged my law. Simple, ruthless, unbreakable. Never defend. Always command. Say it with me. Never defend. Always command. Do you feel the weight of those words? They are not advice. They are not tips. They are a weapon. A shield and a sword combined. Because the moment you defend yourself, you hand them your crown. But when you command, you own the room. You own the silence. You own the doubt in their hearts. This is not a strategy. This is an identity. It's who you become when you stop begging for truth and start demanding respect. So swear it now. Let it carve into your mind. Let it echo in your chest. Never defend. Always command. They will accuse you. They will twist your name. They will come for you again. But when they do, you will not explain. You will not justify. You will not kneel. You will command with silence. You will command with power. You will command with the presence of someone who cannot be broken. Write it. Speak it. Own it. This is your oath. Never defend. Always command. Number 1, the law of silence. He who explains is beneath. He who stays silent is above. Understand this law. The moment you open your mouth to defend, you place yourself under judgment. You let them sit on the throne while you kneel in chains. But silence flips the throne. Silence forces them to choke on their own words. Look at history. The most feared rulers never answered rumors. They never wasted breath denying accusations. Why? Because silence is not weakness. Silence is power. It is the mystery that eats at their minds. the shadow that makes them doubt themselves. Think of it. Someone slanders your name. The crowd stares, waiting for your reaction. If you shout, they smirk. If you explain, they grin. But if you simply stare back, calm, steady, unshaken, suddenly the air shifts. Suddenly, they are the ones exposed because silence is not empty. Silence is a mirror. And when your enemies look into it, they see their own fear staring back at them. So here is your command. The next time they spit lies, do not rush to defend. Do not scramble for proof. Simply look them in the eye. Hold your ground. Say nothing. Let your silence thunder louder than any denial. Practice it. Train it. Make it your weapon, because the world will always test you with noise. But the one who controls silence controls the game. Number, the law of redirection. When they accuse you, they want you trapped. They want you stuck in their frame, playing their game, dancing to their tune. But here's the law. Never play defense. Redirect the fire. Redirection is the art of turning their attack into your stage. They say, you're ruthless, you don't defend, you don't explain, you strike back, and yet you still fear me. They whisper, you think you're better than us, you don't shrink. You smile. If I wasn't, you wouldn't be talking about me. Do you see it? You don't absorb their arrows, you twist them into weapons. You make their accusations prove your strength. Machiavelli knew this truth. Power is not about denying the charges. Power is about turning every charge into confirmation of dominance. When you redirect, you shift the spotlight. Suddenly, they are the ones exposed. They are the ones fumbling for words. They are the ones forced to explain themselves. And the crowd loves strength. They don't care for innocence. They cheer for the one who takes control, not the one who begs for sympathy. So here is your command. When the world throws its insults at you, don't swat them away. Catch them, twist them, hurl them back with precision. Practice one-liners that flip power. Rehearse answers that turn mockery into proof of your rise, because the law is clear. Never absorb. Never explain. Redirect and dominate. Number. The law of doubt. Doubt is a poison, but in your hands, it becomes a crown. Understand this. The masses crave certainty. They beg for clear answers, simple truths, clean labels. But power thrives in shadows. Power grows in uncertainty. When they cannot define you, they cannot control you. They whisper, is he dangerous? Good, let them wonder. They murmur, can she be trusted? Perfect. Let suspicion spread. Because when they don't know what you are, they prepare for what you might be. And what they imagine is always greater, darker, more powerful than the truth. Machiavelli taught that fear outweighs love. But doubt is the root of fear. A man feared is respected, but a man doubted, half saint, half monster, becomes untouchable. Think of leaders, rulers, warriors who never clarified their true motives. Their silence made them legends. Their unpredictability made them myths. People didn't follow them because they knew them. People followed because they didn't. Here is your command. The next time someone demands clarity, do not hand it to them. Smile. Stay vague. Leave the question hanging. Let their minds do the work. Because when people doubt you, they fill the gaps with their own fears, their own insecurities, their own nightmares. And in the end, you become larger than life, because they created that image themselves. So remember this law. Never erase suspicion. Weaponize it. Let them choke on doubt. Let them fear the silence. Let them imagine the monster you could become. Number 4. The law of counterattack. Defense is submission. Silence is power. But counterattack is conquest. Understand this. When someone strikes at you with words, they reveal their fear. Every accusation is a confession. Every insult is a mirror of their insecurity. And the moment they attack, they hand you the weapon. You need only turn it back on them. They call you arrogant. You don't deny it. You answer, and yet you bow to my presence. They call you cruel. You don't defend. You respond. Only the weak feel cruelty where the strong feel order. They call you ruthless. You smile, and still you can't stop me. Do you see it? You don't swat their words away. You sharpen them. You take their blade and drive it deeper into their own chest. That is counterattack. The crowd doesn't cheer for the man who pleads innocence. The crowd respects the one who turns an ambush into a display of dominance. They don't care who was right. They care who looks untouchable. So here is your command. Train yourself to hear the fear hidden in every insult. Write down the words they throw at you. Twist each one into a weapon. Prepare your counters like a warrior sharpens blades. Because in the law of power, the attacker always bleeds first. They come for your throat only to find your teeth. Never just block. Never just hide. Counterattack. Until they never dare speak your name again. Number. The law of ambiguity. Clarity is for the weak. Ambiguity is for the powerful. Do you know why the most feared figures in history were untouchable? Because no one ever truly knew them. Were they kind or cruel? Were they saviors or monsters? The truth didn't matter. The questions did. Ambiguity is sharper than proof. Mystery is heavier than evidence. Because when people cannot define you, they cannot destroy you. Villains understood this law. Leaders mastered it. Strategists built empires on it. They gave just enough to be seen, but never enough to be known. And that sliver of uncertainty, those unanswered questions, made them terrifying. Let them choke on questions. Let them drown in speculation. Let them argue about your true nature while you move unseen, untouched, unstoppable. They will beg for clarity. Do not give it. They will demand proof. Do not hand it over. Instead, feed them riddles. Speak in paradoxes. Leave them with answers that are questions. Let their own imagination become the prison. Because here is the secret. The truth limits you. Once they know who you are, they can label you, cage you, reduce you. But when they are unsure, they prepare for everything. And that fear, that uncertainty, gives you power no explanation ever could. So here is your command. Stop giving straight answers. Replace explanations with riddles. Instead of yes or no, say perhaps, perhaps not. Instead of proving your side, smile and walk away. Watch how their doubt grows in the silence you leave behind. Remember, clarity is a leash. Ambiguity is a blade. Stay undefined. Stay untouchable. Stay feared. Number 6, the law of image over truth. Truth is fragile. Perception is eternal. The world does not care about what is. The world only cares about what appears. Do you understand? A man can be innocent, but if he looks guilty, he is guilty. A man can be weak, but if he appears strong, he is feared. Defend yourself with truth. You lose. Shape perception, you win. History proves this. Empires were not built on cold facts. They were built on myths, legends, and carefully crafted symbols. Kings were seen as chosen by the gods not because it was true, but because it was believed. Armies followed banners, not documents. Nations moved for images, not evidence. And you think the world today is any different? No, it's worse. In the age of noise, perception is everything. Your tone matters more than your words. Your posture matters more than your arguments. Your presence matters more than your innocence. If you look unshaken, they will believe you are unbreakable. If you appear calm, they will assume you are in control. If you carry symbols, your style, your voice, your silence, they will worship the image, even if the truth is hollow. So here is your command. Stop chasing truth. Start mastering perception. Control how you are seen. Build your armor out of tone, presence, and symbols. Carry yourself as if you are inevitable, and people will treat you as if you are. Remember, truth bends, truth fades, but the image you forge becomes immortal. Number 7, the law of reversal. Power is not about never being attacked. Power is about what happens after. The law of reversal is simple. The stronger you stand under fire, the weaker your accuser looks. When they throw dirt at you, do not flinch. Do not wipe it off. Do not scramble to explain. Stand tall, unshaken, as if their words cannot touch you. Because the truth is, they can't. Unless you let them, the world expects the accused to tremble, to stutter, to sweat. But when you refuse, when you stand as if their attacks are beneath you, suddenly they are the ones who look desperate. Suddenly they are the ones who seem obsessed, petty, small. Think of the rulers who laughed at scandal, the warriors who grinned at insult, the icons who stood in the flames without a single blink. History did not remember the words spoken against them. History remembered the unbreakable presence that swallowed those words whole. This is the reversal. They try to make you look guilty. You make them look weak. They try to shame you. You make them look pathetic. They try to bury you. You stand taller than ever. Here is your command. The next time they come for you, slow down. Straighten your back. Breathe deep. Look at them as if they are nothing more than noise. Let them exhaust themselves while you remain immovable. Because the moment you refuse to break, the weight of their attack crushes them, not you. That is the law. That is reversal. Turn every attack into their humiliation. Turn every insult into your throne. I was once the dog, barking to prove my loyalty, begging to be believed, pleading for scraps of acceptance. Every word I spoke was a chain around my own neck. Every defense I gave was proof of my weakness. And they laughed. They feasted on my desperation. They watched me sink lower and lower with every attempt to explain. But that version of me is dead. I burned him. I buried him. And from the ashes rose something else. I am no longer the dog that barks. I am the wolf who does not explain. I am the shadow that cannot be cornered. I am the silence that makes them tremble. They will accuse you. They will slander you. They will mock you, and you will never defend. They will wait for you to stumble. They will wait for your trembling lips. They will wait for weakness. But you will give them nothing, because silence is not empty. Silence is power. Silence is the storm that brews behind calm eyes. And when they cannot predict you, they will fear you. Understand this transformation. You are no longer the victim. You are no longer the accused. You are the one who decides who speaks and who stays silent. You are the one who shapes perception with presence alone. Your silence will not be submission. Your silence will be domination. Your refusal to explain will not make you small. It will make you untouchable. And when they gather in crowds to tear you down, they will find themselves tearing each other apart instead, choking on doubt, drowning in speculation, crushed by the mystery you leave behind. That is self-mastery. That is ruthless power. That is the throne built not by words, but by silence. Never again will you bark for approval. Never again will you kneel to defend. From this moment you command, you conquer, you rise, and the world, yes, the whole world, will bow to silence. Say it with me. Say it until your throat aches. Say it until your heart accepts it as law. Never defend. Always command again, louder, with fire. Never defend. Always command. This is not advice. This is not a suggestion. This is an oath. The weak defend. The strong command. The forgotten beg for truth. The remembered shape perception. Look at the chains you've carried all your life. The weight of explanations. The prison of proving yourself. Every time you opened your mouth to justify, you carved another scar into your own soul. Enough. Today, the chain breaks. Today the prison crumbles. Today you swear a new identity. Never defend. Always command. Type it below. Etch it into your mind. Write it as your oath for the world to see. This is not just a comment. This is a declaration. A mark of entry into something far deeper. An underground brotherhood. Not of sheep, not of victims, but of those who refuse to kneel, refuse to explain, refuse to beg. A circle of silent wolves, eyes cold, presence undeniable. When the world points its trembling finger at you, you will not flinch. When they demand your defense, you will not speak. When they seek your weakness, you will give them nothing. Instead, you will command. You will decide. You will own the room before a single word leaves your mouth. That is the oath. That is the fire. That is the mark of the untouchable, so write it now. Type it like a blade cutting into stone. Never defend. Always command. Burn it into your mind. Burn it into your blood. Burn it until it becomes who you are, because while they waste their breath, you will already own the room.